Good afternoon. My name is Tashan Mitchell, and I'm here with a Virginia Union student. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Todd Hughes from Smyrna, Delaware, junior transfer guard, transferred from Delaware State, now shooting guard for the Virginia Union men's basketball team.
Okay, how you doing today, Todd?
Good.
I want to start off by thanking you for coming out to take this interview with me.
Thank you.
So you mentioned you're from Smyrna, Delaware. So some people might not know where that's at. So can you just tell us a little bit about growing up in Smyrna, Delaware?
Yeah, it's country, southern part of Delaware, like a little bit north of Dover, which is the capital of Delaware. It's quiet, laid back area, but it's a nice area to live in.
So being that it's quiet, laid back, what were some of the things that you did growing up there? Like, what were some of the things you've done?
I mean, mainly I just was in the gym. There's really nothing to do out there. So you find a gym, you just stick in it. That's what I did. Besides going to school out there for my 7th through 9th grade year. And then I transferred and went up north. But while I was in Smyrna, I was just in the gym the whole time. There's nothing really to do.
So basketball seemed like it was your passion from a young age. So you played in high school. Have you won any championships in high school?
Yeah, my sophomore year, I won a state championship. I had transferred up north from Smyrna and went to Sanford, and I won my sophomore year. I actually played in 2, lost the second one, but I won the first one.
Okay, that's pretty good experience. So going to Delaware State as a freshman, you playing basketball. Talk about being in school at Delaware State before coming to Virginia Union.
Well, I mean, as a freshman, it was an eye opener. You don't have your parents around and stuff like that. It was a nice experience being one of the leading scorers as a freshman. It was a great experience. We actually made it to our conference championship. We lost, unfortunately, to Hampton, but I had some big games, 25-point games, 27-point games as a freshman, the only freshman to do that. So
and that's pretty good. That's pretty impressive. So that's on the athletic side of Delaware State. Let's talk about the educational side. Like, what were some of the things you liked or disliked about it?
Some of the things I like, well, the major I really wanted to do ever since I was in high school, looking up majors, was sports management, which I don't take anymore, but just learning how things work in the sports field, the business aspect, it was fun, actually, before changing my major. And some of the things I didn't like, I had some teachers there, it felt like they really didn't care, which is different being here, it's a small campus, so, you get to know your teachers, but it was, I had big classes where, some of the teachers didn't even know the students and stuff like that, so I struggled a little bit with that, but just having that major, it was fun taking those classes, sports management major.
So what made you transfer from Delaware State to Virginia Union?
Actually, I had a friend that went here, Ray Anderson, who was one of the leading scorers at this school, and him being from Delaware, I was telling him, I wanted to get out of Delaware State because we weren't really winning, and even though it was a Division I school, I want to play basketball after college, and hearing that Virginia Union had, pros come out of here, such as Ben Wallace, AJ English, who also is from Delaware. I just felt like it was the right move, and I came and took a visit, and it was just, from there, it was a go.
So you knew Ray Anderson before coming to Virginia Union, so did y'all have a friendship or relationship outside of basketball before?
Yeah, me and Ray were friends. Delaware is small, so if you play ball, everybody knows each other. So, me and Ray, he was one of the best players in the state. The year I won the state championship, it was his senior year. And, we communicated before going to college and stuff like that, and I heard he was doing this thing up here. So, I always followed him, even when I was at Delaware State. But when I found out that I was leaving, he definitely was in my ear about how good this school was. So. Yeah.
So coming to Virginia Union, what did you end up changing your major to?
I changed my major to accounting. One of my teammates, Jimmy Page, he was an accounting major before he transferred from Siena, and he was just telling me, things about accounting, the jobs you can get with accounting. And I just took a chance with it, and I've been successful with it. Got a 3.0 my first semester.
That's pretty good. That's good. So, like, on the aspect of playing on a team at Delaware State and then playing at Virginia Union, how would you compare your teammates and just the coaching staff at Delaware State and Virginia Union?
I was close with my teammates at Delaware State. We had a lot of talent, but just couldn't all put it together. But coming here, we had a lot of talent. And me being a junior, I was one of the leaders here before I got injured. So here, we put it all together and being the first time in, a couple years making it to the NCAA tournament. We had a lot of talent. It was fun. It was really fun compared to going to Del State. We took a lot of losses. So I guess I could say on the basketball side, I like it better here.
Okay, that's pretty good. So you spoke about an injury just now. So what injury did you have, and how did you get that injury?
Playing against UDC, I was on a fast break actually. Was having a good game. Had like 12 points in 8 minutes. Really coming into my own during the season. On a fast break, we was playing defense, and actually I was trying to make a quick turn to stop the ball, and I tore my ACL. I felt the pop. Didn't know what it was at the time, but in the final I tore my ACL, and it ended my season, my junior season.
That's pretty heartbreaking. So what were some of the things you had to do, after tearing your ACL? Like, what are some of the things?
First off, I had to, stay positive, get my mind right, realizing that, I could come back from this just depending on how hard I work, So I had to get surgery. My parents came down here for my surgery. Then after that, the day after my surgery, I started rehab. And ever since then, I got my surgery December 31st, and I've been in therapy ever since.
So, are you expected to be back for next season?
Oh, yes. I actually got my year back, so I'll be a junior. I'll graduate next year, but I'll have another year after that since I got my year back from a medical red shirt, so I'll be back for next season.
So some viewers may not know what a medical red shirt is, so can you just explain that real quick?
So if you play 8 games or less in your season, you can decide, some people, if they're not getting as much playing time as they want to, they could decide to get a red shirt year, which means the year won't count. And the next year, they can start their official year. They can get better throughout the summertime. And then a medical red shirt, it was our 8th game, actually. I was lucky. It was our 8th game, and I got hurt. And they blessed me by letting me have my red shirt year. Because some people, even if you get to your 8th game, depending on how many minutes you played and whatnot, you can't get your year back. So I'll be a junior on the court.
That's pretty good. So are you excited about that?
I'm very excited because, it gives me more time. And with me wanting to play after school, get my stats better, just become more mature in the game. So for after school,
Do you feel like this program is preparing you for the next level after college?
Yes. This year, before the season actually started, we would have open gyms, and Ben Wallace, who played for the Pistons, he has a gym not too far from here, and we would go over there, and we would actually get to play with him. And, just being able to play against pros, it just shows you, what you have to do, like how pros play. So you can train yourself now while you're in school to play like a pro. So when you get there, it's nothing new for you.
So that must be like, some real good experience being able to go to Ben Wallace's gym and play with him. So like, how has that impacted you playing with a professional like Ben Wallace, knowing that he's won championships, Defensive Player of the Year?
I mean, it's impacted me a lot. Not even just playing with him, but listening to him, picking his brain, just getting knowledge from him, just the way you carry yourself as a pro, type of things to eat, just how to move as a pro, have the mindset as a pro. So it's just like it was a win-win situation. You can't lose when you're hanging around a pro, and that's what you want to do. So it was a great experience.
So when basketball season is in town or around, how do a typical day for you go from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep?
Breakfast, you go to your classes. In between classes, we then eat and go eat. After class, after your academic schedule is done for the day, we have weights for about an hour. Then we have open gym for about 2 hours. So right after our open gym, we'll go to the tutoring center for study hall for an hour and a half. After that, you get your dinner, go back to your room. You got a little bit of free time. Get some more studying and just relax. You go to sleep and you wake up and do it all over again.
And that's pretty, so would you say that's a pretty intense schedule for you? Or how are you able to manage that schedule, with athletics, then having to go lift weights and then
I mean, it's
academics?
It's definitely challenging, you know, especially coming in as a freshman, I know how it was for me as a freshman. You know, it felt like it was so much to do. You didn't have enough time, you know, to have fun or whatnot. But coming in as an athlete, you know what you sign up for. So, I mean, you just got to take it on the chin and do it. But for some people, as you get older, you know, you realize how to manage it. But for the new guys coming in, it's a lot on your plate. But
it is a lot. So for incoming freshmen, how would you mentor them to manage their time better as being a student athlete?
Well, first, you know, coming in, before you start, I would just say make sure you choose your classes, you know. Make sure you pick out the right schedule for yourself because, you know, having early classes, you know, having late practices, they all run into each other. So you want to play it smart so you're not, like, overwhelmed or you're not burning yourself out. So that's the main thing. And, you know, just stay focused because, you know, without having, you know, good grades, and, you know, everybody says it, but you really see what you get without having good grades, you can't play. And that's the worst thing to do, to sit on the side and watch everybody else do the thing that you love, and you can't do it just from something small, like not taking care of your academics.
Right. So, saying you got to have good grades, what are some of the requirements, you know, to be on the basketball team, like GPA-wise and everything?
For here, you know, we have to maintain a 2.5, and that's like the minimum. So, you know, you can get the bare minimum, but I would just say, you know, strive for a 3.0 high. I mean, strive for a 4.0, you know, but a 2.5 is our minimum.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, being a basketball player, and how do you feel when you go on the road, like, and then you still have school, and then you got to miss those classes? Like, how do you feel about that?
For me, you know, I don't like, you know, playing catch up. So when I go on the road, I make sure I take my work with me. So when I come back, you know, I'll, you know, get contacts from people in my classes. So when I'm gone, it's like I don't miss anything. You know, handle my business. We also have study hall on the road, so I handle my business on the road academically, and then, you know, handle business on the court.
So talk a little bit about how is study hall on the road, being that you don't have the library on campus? Like, how do y'all conduct your study hall on the road?
We'll find like a conference room. You know, a coach will have a conference room for us in there. You know, we'll have some of our coaches in there, or sometimes we'll take somebody with us that works with academics at Union, and they'll be in there, you know, proctor us while we're in there for about an hour. So, you know, it's just like being here. I mean, you don't have the books, the resources like that, but we make it work.
So do you like playing at home or on the road better?
I have to say playing at home because, you know, you got, you know, all the people that you see every day throughout school. You know, they joke with you, they talk about your game, that you could really prove to them that you could play. But, you know, I handle my business on both sides, so I like both of them. But home is a better feeling.
So do you feel like going into next season, and there's a lot of pressure on coming back off the ACL injury?
Yes, because I was a big part of the team, you know, this year before I got hurt. So, you know, some people probably, you know, don't think, you know, coming back from an ACL injury you'll be the same, but, you know, it's big. You know, I have to take a leadership role. You know, it'll be in my senior year. Even though it's my junior in the court, I'm still a senior. So it's going to be big. You know, what we did last year, you just always try to top it. So, you know, I'm trying to go for a CIAA championship and, you know, NCAA championship if I can.
So what are some of the things, you know, you want the Virginia Union fans to look forward to for next season?
You know, just us winning. You know, every game we play, we're coming to win. So come out and support. You know, it's not going to be a waste of your time.
So with Ray's leaving, you about to be the next. So do you feel like you could be the next one up from Delaware to put on for Virginia Union?
Yeah, we've had, you know, a lot of people from Delaware come and make big names. Like I said, AJ and Ray, and that's my plan. You know, I'm not trying to be AJ, I'm not trying to be Ray, I'm just trying to be Todd. You know, like put on for Delaware, make Delaware proud, and do what I can for Virginia Union.
So for, you know, any individual at Virginia Union who may be interested in joining the basketball team, what kind of tips or advice you could give them?
You know, you coming out, you know, to try out, just bring your A game, you know, just showing that you really want it. This coach, you know, he gives people chances, and if you really want it, you put your mind to it, you can do it.
So that's all I have for you today, Mr. Hughes. I want to thank you for taking this time out to have this interview, and I wish y'all the best of luck for next season.
I appreciate it.